What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Maverick here, and today we are going to be starting the next installment of the Monogatari series, Nisemonogatari. Now, a lot of you guys have been looking forward to this. I don't know why, although I have a sneaking suspicion as to why. The funny thing here is that this is actually, to me, the most famous of the Monogataris. Probably because, for me, this is when I actually learned about the series. It was making some big waves at that time, some memes and whatnot, and so that's how I got to know about this franchise. Although I wasn't, at that time, I wasn't really in a position or a state of mind to watch so many anime. So, things turn around, right? And this was like, what? 7, 8 years ago? Something like that. And so, the things I do know about this is that apparently this particular series, deals with the two sisters of Araragi. And yes, I actually do know about the toothbrush scene, so I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I'm not going to see that entirely blind. I think I originally saw that in GIF form already, and that is how, again, like I said, Nisei was pretty big back in the day, and so that's how I got to learn of the series. But, it has been some time, and now with all the pretext and whatnot, I might have a better context as to what the hell is actually going on with this franchise. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I say that, but so far, 2 series in. Okay, hold that thought. No. Well, sucks to be you. As I was saying, can anybody really know what the entire series is all about? Wow, it's been a while. I haven't heard her voice in a while. And he did. Right? Yeah, a perfect example of my point a little earlier. Does anyone really know what the series is about? Okay, I think that was a pun there. And there's the famous Shindo angle. Alright. What's she up to? She's enjoying this. Yeah. Nisemonogatari. Well, we're off to a great start. I can think of plenty of people who would do that. Hey, I'd be totally down to licking some water off of Senjogahara's fingers. Hmm. Okay. Kinda see where this is going. Let's go. Wait, does that mean you already put the diaper on him? Too extreme, too heavy. Yeah, it's about the same. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's staple. Yay, it's been some time. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's not that. Is it? Yeah, I don't think it is. Okay. Karen B. Part 1. Oh, it's a flashback again. Or, okay, it's like time rewind. Similar to how Kizu went as well. Hmm. What? Hey, I thought the conversation was over. By the way, who wears that in their own house? Oh. Well, these two actually go around fighting people? Hmm? Tegami Oni-chan. That is so obvious. That's a good sister. Approved. Is that like her catchphrase? Tonikaku? Anyways. Wait, you used to spar with her? You know what? I like them already. Hey, Mayoi. Now for some sexual harassment, I assume. Well, a classic case of the body is honest. Okay, that is way too obscure a reference. I love it when anime or manga get meta. Okay. Some more meta discussion, I guessing. Well, did this come out 2 years later? Then, okay. That's cheap. Oh, I should probably mention that I'm using the Call-Girls translation instead of the official subs. I mean, it has been recommended to me, so I guess I'll use it. Why would that be better than a bow? Not really to public, since Araki is the only one who can see her. Weren't you supposed to go to Sengoku, Araki? It's actually harder to do that once you're older. Fall on her? Oh, that's why. What are they doing? I think behind the stage would be better than behind the curtain. Yeah, backstage. And behind the curtain isn't the same as backstage. So what does she usually do, then? I guess that's a foreshadowing. Reggie, have you talked about your problems with Senjugahara? Alright, since this is the first time we're seeing this ending, take a look at it. But definitely that was a big switch in bait. Okay. Using the same animation style. So I assume these are the two sisters seeing this. Hmm. It was okay, I guess. Oh, hey, I'm a brother. Okay. Well, we are off to a strong start. I can kind of see why you guys are so hyped about this series in particular, Nisemonogatari. For one thing, it definitely raises the amount of ecchi that's in it. With all the scenes and whatnot, like, man, well, but to be clear here, though, I actually have absolutely no problem with ecchi stuff, fan service stuff being in anime. Like, it doesn't exactly turn me off. The only time where I have a problem with it, if there's a certain character or there's certain settings where that's all that there is, right? If there's no substance to it, then I would be basically thinking, well, why don't I go watch a hentai instead, right? So, then again, this is the Monogatari series. I highly doubt that's the case. I highly doubt there's going to be a throwaway character who's only here to be fan service bait, unlike some other anime. Hint, 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 wink, wink. So it should be fine in the end. I mean, it was funny here, so I enjoyed it. As long as they don't overdo it, which I have a feeling they won't, because even if they do want to keep on doing these H scenes, or more perverted scenes or whatnot, they will rotate the cast around, right? Use different characters, have different personalities, different reactions to all this, and that will keep it fresh. So I think they will do a good job of balancing it out. Even putting all that aside, though, I gotta say, I really enjoyed this episode, particularly because of its constant breaks of the fourth wall. One of my favorite series of all time, both anime and manga, is actually Gintama. And one of the reasons I like Gintama that much is because it constantly breaks the fourth wall, right? It makes a ton of meta references, self-references, referencing other popular works, so on and so forth. And challenging cliches and then turning the cliches on its head. Those are all stuff that I love. So besides being just batshit insane, batshit crazy, it has a lot of this going for it as well. And so far, Monogatari, particularly in this just in this episode, it's sort of the same as well, right? It's going very insane and crazy. We just had a crazy ending to Kizu in the previous series. And right here, they're talking about lots of different meta topics, such as, you know, the acknowledgement of Aragi's harem, the production issues that surrounded it. I'm not particularly well versed in that. I didn't follow the franchise that long. I'm assuming that what they're talking about is probably, you know, why this series was only out after 2 years, maybe something like that. And they even threw a little Evangelion reference in there. Evangelion being one of my other favorite animes of all time. I was actually, you know, I'm kind of ashamed I didn't just recognize that reference off the back of my head. But I believe that particular scene where Senjugahara was talking to Aragi is probably making a reference to the arc where you know, Shinji and Rei, they need to fight against the angel that's shaped a little bit like a prism, right? And they use the bottom of a space shuttle as a shield and then take it out with a modified huge sniper rifle. I believe that was one of the famous quotes that was that occurred during that particular arc. But anyways, just, you know, just these kinds of things, right? These kinds of references and whatnot. You know, I really enjoyed that. There's probably tons of other references that I know that there are other references that they made, but those that I'm not that familiar with, so I can't really comment on that. But you know, just the fact that they're doing it, I enjoy this. And so, even putting all that aside, right, there are other things that, you know, they kind of did that I thought, okay, that was quite clever, such as how they actually mentioned all the characters within this episode, even if the girl in particular does not make an appearance, she is still able to be mentioned here in passing, and so on and so forth, and so nobody's left out, right? In Aragi's harem, everyone is equal, right? But anyways, yeah, it was just, even though it didn't really go anywhere, it's just, I mean, honestly, this is probably half the Monogatari series, right? Talking about some inane stuff that maybe doesn't have a particular meaning half the time, and maybe you can pick out some nuggets of knowledge and wisdom through some of it, but most of the time it's just, you know, it's just banter. But it's entertaining banter, and that is important. Now, to get on the actual, you know, the actual story and whatnot, we saw the very beginning, right, with Senjugahara and Aragi and all that. I mean, by the context of that, I guess something happened where, you know, Aragi is basically being his nice self again, so he wants to help someone, or whatnot, and Senjugahara believes that this is going to put him in harm, and so that is why she is cuffing him up and not allowing him the freedom to do what he wants, right? It might be doing a particular thing, or going to a particular place, meeting a particular person, so on, so forth. But, you know, for this first episode, really, you can't tell about all that. And so yeah, that's basically it. The two sisters, the Araki sisters, don't really have much comments on them either, although they do seem a lot more lovable than they did in Bakemonogatari, probably because we also get to actually hear them converse a little bit more. But I'm liking what I see so far, let's just say. So yeah, that's basically it for the first episode. Really enjoyed it. Hope it keeps it up. You know, if it actually does keep this up, I might even prefer it over Bakemonogatari. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. By the way, I am actually going on vacation again next week. I mean, it's the winter, all right? I like to go snowboarding, so I have lots of vacation. Most of my vacations are during the winter time. So next week, I will probably put out 2 or 3 episodes of Nisemonogatari, so you guys can look forward to that. So anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned, and bye-bye.